Good afternoon, everyone.
They've already went to church. We kind of rotate. Our wives like going to the Presbyterian. My brother and I like to go to the Lutheran church, so it's
If you have any questions, I am standing. Thank you. I'll be here till Tuesday trying to be.
We got it.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Malavsky, and I am proud to be and have the honor of being the president of the Eagles Wrestling Booster Club. And on behalf of myself and our board of directors, Mr. Don Weekly, Mr. Doug Redding, Mrs. Carol Milkovich, I'd like to welcome you all here today. Welcome, 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 and thank you. Thank you for your support of the wrestling team here at FGCU. As you can tell from this sensational event, we have a lot of wonderful things planned that will help the team continue to be successful in the coming years. And I want to thank you again in advance for your continued support. I want you to know, though, that you don't stand alone in this worthy cause. The board has been able to, in its short 5 months of existence, put together a very impressive list of booster members, all of whom have a love for the sport as you do and want to see wrestling in Florida continue to grow. I'd like to encourage you all to continue to stay connected to us through our website that will be continually advancing for updates to join our proud booster club. Here are just a few names of that continued growing list. Mr. and Mrs. Austin Schanfelter, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Giovanetta, Dr. and Mrs. Brian Gear, Dr. and Mrs. Paul Tritell, Mr. and Mrs. Angelo Vaughn, Miss Marie Jimenez, Mr. and Mrs. Mike Pedersen, Miss Vanessa Pedersen, Mr. Buzz Hill, Mr. Russ Cozart, Mr. Bill Hoke, Mr. Bruce Baumgardner, Mr. and Mrs. Jim Vajan, Mr. Harvey Youngquist, Mr. Lee Kemp, the Bruno family, the Seymour Holtzman family, Susan Santos, Charles Stam, Joseph Winkler, Mr. Greg Winch, the Levitets family, the Rios family, Dave and Sandy Marshall, Dale and Betty Sheenan, Dr. Glenn Schaefer, and Mr. Ron Jones. I'd also at this time like to thank some of our supportive local businesses that have helped make today a huge success, some of which have supplied us with some flyers and information that have been put on your tables. Custom Elite Finishes, Jersey Mike's Subs, the Miramar Outlets, Anthony Arena and the Sevens Products Group, Larry Tanka and LHT Associates, Tony Shoemaker and the Royal Shell Real Estate Group, Seabreeze Communication, Airway Manufacturing, Dave Arter and Private Client Insurance Group. Before I introduce our next guest, if I could, after he's through, we're going to begin to eat, and I'd like this side of the room to go first, and then we'll do this side of the room after they've gotten their meal so we don't sort of attack the sandwich trays back there. Okay. At this time, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who's become a dear friend of mine and a great supporter of athletics and a supporter of wrestling in general. He is the athletic director at Southwest Florida Christian Academy, and again, a dear friend, Mr. Mark Ackerman.